The truth is, when you try to police human nature, you go down these absurd spirals of just pure nonsense. Was it in Spain they proposed that they needed a signed piece of paper before having sex? So here's the thing. I've had consensual sex where the woman's never said yes or no or anything to me. You've gone on a night out. It's been wonderful. It's been romantic. The chemistry builds up. Your hand touches hers. You're sitting in the seats of the theater. There's an intermission. The lights go out. You go in for the kiss. She kisses you back. You go back to the house afterwards. You pour a glass of wine. You talk. You start kissing. And then sex. At no point did I stop the kissing. Do you consent to having sexual intercourse with me? Like, what kind of insane law would that be? Consent is given most of the time without any words being spoken. And there are men and women in this room, and everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone already knows this. The world's gone nuts, bro.
Fact.
So what does define sexual consent? If you can fully consent, both parties can fully consent with no words spoken, what does define it? The question is, you know. As a man, you know if she's consented or not. You think I've never tried to have sex with a woman and she said no? And she said no without speaking. You're kissing her, exactly the same story happens. She's on your bed, you touch her stomach, you start reaching up her top, she grabs your hands and pulls it down. That's a no. It's fine, and it's no. Then you fucking have another glass of wine and go to sleep. It isn't a big deal. So how do you define it? You can't police this shit. Then what defines sexual consent? If you're a man, you know what defines sexual consent. You know when she's too drunk. You know when she tries to stop you. You know when she's completely giving herself to you and she's open to you. You know. Words, no words, papers, no papers, apps, clicks, doesn't matter. You know. And if you don't respect that, you deserve to go to jail.
You know what I hate? When you're just like enjoying like a love scene in a movie scene, right? Or it could just be like looking at videos about dating tips because you want to up your dating life or whatever the reason may be. And then there's always some woman in the fucking comments trying to get a video ban. Oh, because, oh, well, he didn't ask for consent before doing that. Oh, he didn't ask for consent before. He didn't ask for consent before touching her. Oh my God, that is so bad. He didn't ask for consent before taking her shit off. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, shut up, bro. You do not need consent for every little thing, every step of the way. Demanding consent for every little thing, every step of the way is just extremely annoying and exhausting.
For example, so I like the fact that if I go to the Gambia, they serve Gambian food and there are Gambian people there and Gambian people in charge. In Japan, the same thing. In South Korea and lots of places where I've been, I like to experience other cultures. And other cultures are wonderful and they're beautiful. But pretend that humanity itself is one culture and everyone's the same and everyone can go anywhere and do anything they like. I think that's a dangerous ideology. I like the fact that different cultures come up with different things, different cultures think in different ways, different inventions come from different cultures because the people think differently. And then you have true multiracial cultures, like the United States. The United States is not a white country or a black country or a Latino or Hispanic country. The United States is actually one of the only countries, because I guess the British Empire wiped out all the natives, that is a truly multiracial society, and it's unique. American culture is unique. It's very different from anything else we have. If you are a Mexican and 2 million Chinese people want to move into Mexico City, you should say, no, I want Mexico City to be overwhelmingly Mexican. I think that Mexicans have the right to say that. But it's a controversial idea today, and you get labeled a bunch of horrible things for saying it.
I get what he's saying, but nah, I don't agree. I mean, like, if you want to retire and just, like, go live in another country or whatever we say, like, as long as you do all the paperwork and you do everything legally and you move to, like, another country, like, the correct way, or, like, it's not like you just, like, migrate there illegally or some shit. Oh, okay, like, you did all the paperwork and then you signed all the papers, you bought property, just like the law or whatever, like correctly and legally. As long as you do everything correctly and legally, you should be allowed to go live in another country. I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. Like,
and by all means, spoil your daughter. Buy her things, take care of her very well, but make it very clear to her that whatever man she's looking at when she's older in life, whatever man she wants to date, whatever man she's going to potentially go to, is the man who takes care of her after I stop taking care of her. So if I have a daughter, well, I do, and she turns 17, and she's like, Dad, I've got this boyfriend. He's a 33-year-old beach guitar player who makes money by playing guitar on the beach in California. I'll say, okay, cool. You love that guy? Good. Bye. Give me those car keys. Give me those Chanel handbags. Give me all that stuff I bought you. That's the guy who you've chosen to take care of you now. Good. Have fun being poor. And if you're happy, you're happy. You know, but you make it very clear that the choices that they make in men are the choices they're making for their future. Boys, it's super easy. I am going to make my sons work. Simple as that. From 3, 4, 5 years old, I'm going to have them boxing, training. I'm not going to buy them nice clothes. If I have a younger son and an older son, it's going to be the same system as me and Andrew had. You know, the clothes and the shoes get passed down, hand-me-downs. I'm not going to buy them anything. I'm going to make it very clear that I am rich and they are poor. And if they want to be rich, they're going to have to go through what I went through. No. My daughters, maybe, can sit in first class with me. My sons are back in economy if I take them anywhere ever. But they're paying for their own plane tickets. I'm just going to be really, really hard on them. And I don't see any other way.
Honestly, this is just like a good way to make your children hate each other. Like, I get like the whole discipline, but like all your children need discipline. Like you should spoil all of your kids. What the hell would this be? Like, oh yeah, spoil the daughters but not the sons. Like, what the hell? What kind of shit is that? Like, nah, it's a no for me. I mean, you should spoil all your kids to a certain extent. And you should discipline all your kids as well. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, men and women are different, sure. And you raise your boys differently from your girls, yes. But, like, the simple fact that he think, like, oh, yeah, like, you shouldn't spoil your sons at all. And it's only your daughters. Like, what?
What do you think of rich people that have tigers and lions as pets? Is it a go or is it a no-go? So, to make this very clear, I would say, no matter what you want to be in life and no matter what you want to do, whether it be, you know, a dog trainer or a kickboxer or a zoo owner, it takes certain amounts of passion, time, and dedication. What do I think of rich people having tigers and lions was a very good question, because rich people can do it better than anyone else. I don't agree that anybody who is on a budget should be, you know, locking an animal in a cage in their house, neglecting it, not spending time with it, making the animal not feel at home or a member of the family. I do believe that is cruel. And I think a lot of people who look at these big cat owners are happy to tar them all with the same brush. You know, some crazy guy in Oklahoma who, you know, locks one tiger away in his living room and then it goes crazy and kills his family. That's not what pet ownership is about when it comes to big cats. And I know this because recently, a few days ago, I did a tour of a zoo with one Mr. Belhassa, a wonderful man here in Dubai, who has the time, energy, passion, and resources to take care of his animals. And he was showing me all around his private zoo, and he does big cat ownership right. So I'm completely against animal cruelty, but you can absolutely own tigers and big cats if you choose and if you have the energy and resources to dedicate to it.
I've seen this debate before online. And a comment that really stuck to me in this debate, like a few years ago, I was reading, it was like, just because animals bite animal workers, it doesn't mean the person is bad. It doesn't mean the animal is bad. It's actually not that bad that people make it seem, because humans attack humans all the time. So, like, if you're working with animals, it's gonna bound to happen that the animal might attack you and might bite you. But then the same with humans. Like, you could be taking care of humans, and like a human could bite you, a human could attack you. Like, duh, it's part of your job. Like, it's not really that big of a deal. Just because the animal bite you, or whether it's a human or whether it's an animal that attack you or bite you. And after I read that, it actually made a lot of sense. Now, before I read that comment, I just didn't really understand why someone would want, like, a white animal as a pet, honestly. And, like, even, like, after reading that comment, I still don't understand why, but it definitely did put like a new perspective in my head, because it did have like valid truths in it. Like she was correct. Like, oh yeah, that is right. Like, yeah. But although her comment did have some truth to it, I still don't agree with having wild pets as animals, because it's still extremely dangerous. Even if you have like a lot of money to take care of them and all that, nah. I still, it's a no for me. Like, nah, it's too dangerous, especially if you have children. Like, I've seen so many videos, bro, of like families just having like these wild big cats around like their children. I don't understand it. I don't. Sorry.
But let me just talk about etiquette very slightly. And this isn't for my benefit. It is for the benefit of all famous people in the world, or all well-known people, or all public people, or whatever you want to call them. There's a time and place to be asking for pictures. And you also have to understand that people's time is valuable. If I'm waiting for a taxi outside a building, and you come up and say, hey, Tristan, big fan of you, I'd like to take a picture with you, I'd say yes. I'm literally waiting for a taxi. It'd be a real dick move on my part to say, no, get lost, get out of my face. I absolutely will take a picture with you. If you catch me walking on the street, I'll even stop for a second and take a picture with you. But I was in Dubai Mall recently, and word started spreading that I was in Dubai Mall, and I was walking to an ATM, and there was about 40 people behind me waving their phones, like, oh, picture, about 40 different people. If you thought, if you were in that crowd, that I was going to stop on my way to an appointment and take 40 different pictures and let the crowd get bigger and stand there all day taking pictures, I'm not going to do that. You caught me at the wrong time. I was sitting at a dinner table with a beautiful lady in London not so long ago, and some guys tapped me on the shoulder when I was halfway through a sentence. I thought it was someone I knew. In London, I'm extra jumpy anyway because I like to wear expensive watches. And they're like, hey, you're Tristan, can I take a picture? And I said, get the fuck away from me. Like, I'm on a date. What are you doing? Like, what the fuck? This is a 5-star restaurant. I'm on a date. Get the fuck away from me. And they probably thought, oh, that Tristan Tate, he's a dick. No, my friend, I'm polite. You are a dick. Who are you to go and interrupt somebody's conversation? Business meeting, date, otherwise. Have a little bit of, social intelligence. Look at this situation that the person's currently in and ask them politely, or leave them the fuck alone.
I agree with this. I think that a lot of times people tend to forget that celebrities and well-known people outside of work, they have their own life and they have their own privacy that they want just for themselves and not to be bothered.
This an unjustifiable killing for a bacon sandwich, a bit of taste pleasure or whatever.
I don't make that difference at all. I can't make that distinction, and I certainly don't put animal lives and human lives on the exact same plane of importance at all. Like a lot of do you think that pigs and cows are as important as people? Do you feel their lives are worth as much as a person's life?
If I was a firefighter and a house was burning down and I had to make the choice to save between a human being or an animal, it's gonna be the human being 100% all the time over the animal. And if that offend you, then that offend you. I don't give a fuck.
So, transgenders. Look, let's take transgenderism for what it is. Transgenderism is, in one way or another, a form of plastic surgery, isn't it? If you wish to have a phalloplasty or implants and you're a man or you're a woman and you're getting stuff cut up and cut off and changed to appear differently on the outside, it is, in effect, a form of plastic surgery, and you couldn't be a convincing transgender person without plastic surgery. So I don't really care who gets plastic surgery, but we treat this particular type of plastic surgery very different from other types of plastic surgery. I'm going to give you an example of taking transgender language and applying it to other forms of plastic surgery. I know millions of girls with fake breasts, implants. And if we were to take their particular situation and frame it in the transgender ethos, it would go a little something like this. This girl with big fake tits doesn't have fake tits. They're not fake. She was born in the wrong body. She is a girl who has big tits, but she was born in a body of a woman with small tits. So the surgery she had isn't artificial.
She was just affirming her true identity. She was affirming her true identity, and you are not allowed to say her tits are fake. Not only are you not allowed to say her tits are fake, but she is going to go into schools and talk to young girls who are below the age of sexual consent about being born in the wrong body and how they may need tit-affirming surgery when they're older. Now, of course, if you understand anything, if you frame it in that way, it sounds very stupid.
In case you missed biology class in middle school, a woman is someone with a vagina and a man is someone with a penis. Class dismissed. You're welcome.
So some guys would say to me, oh, my girlfriend would never ever cheat. And I'm like, well, if she, my girlfriend would never ever accept me cheating. And I'm like, well, if she was with me, she would. And she's like, no, you don't know my girlfriend. A lot of girls who I know, who I associate with, who are loyal to me, broke up with their ex because their ex cheated. And then they get in a relationship with me and they're happy to share me. It depends on who you are. So I would say that women are a lot more open to sharing a top tier man than you would possibly believe. And I know that because I've lived it.
That's not really a flex though. If a woman cheated on her ex with you, she could replace you just as easily. But I mean, hey, what do I know, right?
Well, first of all, you have to clarify what a simp is and what simping is. Being nice isn't simping. To me, I have a very unique description of what simping is. I think it's an unfair exchange of value between a man and a woman, usually coming from a man towards a woman. So giving a woman a bunch of free money, giving a woman a bunch of Instagram likes, giving a woman a bunch of Instagram comments. That is simping if she's not doing it back to you. Right. I mean, you'll see me comment, you look beautiful on a girl's Instagram picture, and she'll reply underneath it, I miss you, Tristan. Yeah. That's not simping. That is a fair exchange of value. Right. Where I'm publicly telling people, I've been there. That's one of mine. Yeah. And I get the validation in return. I don't think there's anything wrong if you were just some guy waiting at the entrance to a restaurant for any woman to walk past and holding the door open in the hope of getting some phone number or something. That really is simping.
Yeah.
Agree. Yeah.
I understand the position businesses have to take. The funny thing is, I wouldn't associate with a human trafficker. Human trafficker? I've got a daughter. What? People who kidnap people and sell them? Scum of the earth. If I met someone and said, oh yeah, he was in jail for human trafficking, he got convicted, I'd punch him in the face. Yeah. Why on earth would anyone want to associate with these people? And it's a very tricky situation now that they've labeled me as a human trafficker for trying to help friends out on TikTok allegedly and stealing the money, which obviously never happened. And that's all going to be proven, of course, in time. It's very weird when people disassociate with me if they know me personally. And a few people have tried to distance themselves from me. I'm like, okay, fuck this person, because they know me. They know I'm not this. But if someone I don't know or a company doesn't want to associate with me or work with me because of the allegation, I'm like, yeah, I get it. They don't know I'm innocent. They don't know what the Romanian police force is like. They don't know what DCOP can be like in targeting people. They don't understand the corruption. They don't get it. They just think Tristan Tate, human trafficker. Okay, let's distance ourselves. Yeah, I get it. It's fine. And when I'm exonerated, I will never work with or these companies again. But buy your stuff and I pay for it. But you don't want me saying that I buy from your company? Fine, I won't buy from your company. And when I'm exonerated, I'm sure all these people are going to come crawling back.
Yeah, probably will.
I'm one of the best customers for a lot of this stuff in the world, but I just won't associate with them. I said, just principle. You don't want to associate with me if they falsely accuse me of something? Well, when everything's fine and I'm flying high again and my name's clear, I still have a clean criminal record even now, but when I have no accusations hanging over my head, then I won't talk to you then.
I agree with this. So it's for example, even it could be applied to anyone in general, not just Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. For example, if I was accused of human trafficking, and any stranger could say, oh yeah, I don't believe you. Why do I have to believe you? Oh, they could go make a post oh yeah, Bal's a human trafficker. I don't give a fuck. However, it's a whole different ball game when it comes to your inner circle, to people personally and people who claim they love and care about you. You would at least expect them to believe in you and to not believe the rumors that they heard about you. But I mean, again, hey, it is what it is. Maybe they don't believe you, or maybe they do believe that so if one of my friends, for example, said that, oh yeah, you're a human, I believe that you're a human trafficker. Like, okay, bye. Once my name is cleared, like, we're done. Like, that's it. Like, you're dead to me, and yeah, that's it. Because it's about principle, like Tristan said. Like, strangers, you don't give a fuck, because obviously it's just strangers and people you don't know. But if it's your own inner circle that's turning their backs on you, yeah, nah, you don't need to surround yourself with people like that. And hey, and yeah, okay, they're entitled to like their own opinion and their own beliefs, and then so am I. Like, I am solely within my right to cut them off. Like, okay, if you believe those rumors, then bye. Like, you're dead to me. Bye. That's it.
Friends have to keep up. You don't cut them off. They naturally fall behind. If you're running in a race, you're running in a marathon, and you're running with a pack of people, 5 or 6 people, and you're going 1 or 2 miles an hour faster than everybody else, within no time you're going to look around and you're not going to see them anymore. So my advice is keep winning. Don't let them slow you down. If they can keep up, and if they truly are your friends, if they really are people who you should be hanging around with, then you're going to find yourself sitting in that 5-star hotel in Switzerland, surrounded by these exact same people drinking gold-plated cappuccinos.
Everybody who studied with you is not going to face with you. That's just the way it is sometimes.
That's what Tinder is good for. Finding the best places to hang out in town. And when you get to these places, make sure you check in on Instagram. Take a picture, tag yourself on Instagram, because if you do that, I tagged myself at the Stockholm Grand Hotel, the best hotel in the city. That's where I was staying. I had 3 or 4 girls message me simply because I tagged myself at that hotel.
Me personally, I don't really like tagging like the exact location of where I'm at, just because of like safety. Like, you never know who's watching, so like it's better safe than sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, sure, I'll post like pictures and photos like when I'm out and about, like maybe like a side photo, or maybe like of the sky sometimes or something like that. But I don't just like tag the location, because you never know who's watching, and I just want to be safe, you know. So me personally, I don't like doing that. But I mean, hey, if it works for you, then it works.
You know, people will often try to, I guess, pit me against Andrew, which is the stupidest idea in the world. But they'll say stupid things to me like, huh, your brother's more famous than you. And I'll say, yeah, my brother's more famous than you. Like, what's the big deal? If your brother were Mike Tyson, for example, and someone said your brother's a better boxer than you, you'd be like, yeah, my brother's Mike Tyson. What you know, it's this strange type of jealousy and envy that I think a lot of men can't cope with, that makes them drag each other down like crabs in a bucket. It's not a competition. We're a team.
Another thing I want to add to this is that jealousy is not obviously a bad thing in relationships. Jealousy is an emotion just like every other emotion, just like being sad, just like being angry, just like being happy. It's perfectly healthy and normal to want to endorse, explore, and experience jealousy. You know, you want to fully explore and experience all your emotions. And yeah, most of the time people will say like, oh, well, jealousy can turn into a bad thing, blah, blah, this and that. Well, okay, the same thing can be said for anger. The same thing can be said for sadness. The same thing can be said for grief. Like, every single human emotion can be negative, yes. But I don't think it's really healthy to just be absent of like one emotion, whether it's 1 or 2 or multiple emotions, like to feel one particular emotion and just leave every other emotion out. Like, no, every human being should explore, endorse, and experience and feel as much as possible, human emotions as possible, because I just think that it's healthy to do it that way than to be like, oh yeah, I don't get jealous. That's the same thing as saying, oh, I don't get happy. I don't get sad. Like, what?